Bienvenidos al Festival Real Mix 2020. Este festival es un evento virtual que tiene como objetivo reconocer la experimentación tecnológica a través de proyectos de realidad virtual y realidad aumentada, propiciando reflexiones en torno a la creación, uso y apropiación de tecnologías y contenidos inmersivos, los cuales serán centrales en nuestra agenda académica.
Tenemos acá, I'm going to present everyone that we have here. We are in this virtual space created by Fito Segrera, what he called a non-site, which is basically a space that doesn't exist, and that is based on in his glitches, when pretty much when he was absent-minded, and it's almost like the room of lost and found that we found here, what we have. So I have Fito. Fito is a very interesting artist. I met him in Shanghai a few years ago when I was visiting China, and he was the director of the laboratory at the Kronos Art Center in Shanghai, one of the most impressive and over the top new media centers in Asia and in the world. And we continue collaborating. And Fito has developed this interesting work that all of you are going to see tonight. Is going to tell you about. And we brought it together with Matthew Gant, who's also from New York. And Matthew is a composer, and he specializes in music for virtual spaces. So, bueno, bienvenidos todos. Estamos aquí todos en este espacio que no es espacio, es un espacio virtual donde las memorias han desaparecido. Y tenemos a Fito Segrera, que es un artista colombiano que estaba expatriado por muchísimos años en China y ha creado ese espacio para el festival Real Mix. Invitamos a Matthew Gant, que es un compositor basado en Nueva York, que se especializa en música para espacios virtuales. Vamos a ver qué tenemos esta noche acá. El primer evento virtual de Hyphen Hub, las visiones del futuro. It's going to be our first Visions of the Future event of Hyphen Hub after COVID. So I want to thank Andres Garcia Larrota from IDARTES, who's the creators of this amazing festival, and all the crew at IDARTES and Real Mix and Neurona, and also Felipe Londoño from the Festival de la Imagen, who has always been our home in Colombia and the home for a lot of international artists when we invite us every year to go and create unbelievable events. Okay, so now Fito, could you come and get close to us? Tell us what we are going to see
Yes.
tonight. Yeah.
Yes. Can you hear me?
I do, but I don't know who
Okay.
else.
So I will say it in English first, and I'll say it in Spanish first and then in English. Buenas noches a todos. Mi nombre es Fito Segrera. Muchas gracias, Asher, por esa introducción, por esa presentación. Como dice Asher, soy un artista colombiano, trabajando con tecnología desde ya hace más de una década. Regresé a Colombia hace un par de meses nomás y pues me invitaron a este festival gracias a Felipe Londoño, el director del Festival de la Imagen, pero también decano de la Facultad de Artes de la Universidad Jorge Tadeo Lozano en Bogotá. Y además el día de hoy vamos a estar haciendo un performance y pues yo quisiera empezar contándoles un poco sobre el espacio que están viendo. Hi, my name is Fito Segrera, and thank you, Asher, for the introduction. I just arrived to Colombia a few months ago. I'm an artist working with technology for over a decade now. I've been doing all sorts of different experiments with between art and technology, doing research, creation, and all sorts of interesting things. And this space was created specifically for the Real Mix Festival. And I want to speak a bit about what the piece is about, what the space you are inside is about, and then what the performance is going to be about. El espacio en el que estamos es el resultado de una obra que realicé hace 2 años cuando vivía en Shanghai, en donde creé un dispositivo, un escáner capaz de captar ondas cerebrales en tiempo real, y al escáner le agregué una cámara fotográfica y un arreglo de sensores, acelerómetro, giroscopio y otros sensores. Y todo junto en tiempo real lo usaba y salía a la calle y llevaba mi día cotidiano, mientras el sistema capturaba momentos en los cuales mi atención caía y como consecuencia momentos que no iba a recordar, momentos que yo llamo agnosis o memorias perdidas. Esos momentos se capturaban como datos, esos datos, esa imagen que capturaba la cámara de ese momento perdido, más los datos de mi cerebro y de los sensores, eran procesados por una inteligencia artificial que resultaban en estos objetos, en estas esculturas que ustedes ven en el espacio, esos objetos grandes, negros. Al mismo tiempo, los datos que ven en las paredes, en el techo, son resultados de mis ondas cerebrales y la máquina tratando de organizar esa información y crear sentido a partir de esa información. También en el espacio hay sonido, el cual ha sido apagado debido al performance. El sonido son voces sintéticas de una inteligencia artificial narrando su interpretación de esas memorias perdidas. Entonces, esto es un experimento de una especie de prótesis de memoria virtual en donde la máquina me regresa esas memorias perdidas. And this space is basically the result of a work I did a couple of years ago in Shanghai, where I built this brain-computer interface with an embedded camera and an array of sensors, an accelerometer, a gyroscope, and some other sensors, GPS, and so on. And the device, I was wearing this device for a couple of weeks, every day, all the time. And this device was basically programmed to capture moments of absence of attention, moments where my attention was dropping. And it would capture these moments as a photograph of whatever was in front of my eyes, plus the brain data and the sensor data, all together packed and sent to a machine, which was learning from all this data and through artificial intelligence, trying to reconstruct or to interpret this data of lost memories and give it back to me. So the space you see here is a sort of attempt to recreate or to manifest those lost memories as interpreted by the machine. So the sculptures, the objects that you see around are all generated by an AI from my brain data and from the sensor data. The same with the data that you see on the walls and on the ceiling and the ground. It's just data that is being organized by the system, trying to make sense out of it. And there's a layer of sound that it's turned off right now because of the performance, where the machine is narrating, speaking out loud, some of those memories as poetry that itself made and gave me back as a sort of as a way of returning those lost memories to me. So this is what the piece is about, and the performance is basically an invitation where Asher brought Matt, who is an amazing performer, musician, artist dedicated to virtual spaces and generative music. And today we're going to be collaborating. Matt is he's going to talk more about his work, but in general, what's going to happen here is that I'm going to be live streaming some brain data to Matt over the internet. He's in New York, I'm in Colombia. And in real time, he's going to be receiving that data, and that data is going to be turned into sound, as well as he's going to be playing some of his own music on top of that. And then we're going to have some graphics, some images in the back, which is the result of some live programming that I'm doing and my brain data as well. So let me just say that very quickly in Spanish, and then Matt, I'll give the mic to Matt. Básicamente el performance de hoy, cómo funciona es que yo le voy a estar enviando en tiempo real desde Colombia a Matt, que está en Nueva York, los datos de mis memorias perdidas en tiempo real, y él los va a estar recibiendo a través del internet y los va a estar interpretando sonoramente. Es decir, la música que vamos a estar escuchando es una combinación entre el trabajo de Matt como músico y los datos que van saliendo de mi cerebro en tiempo real. Y al mismo tiempo vamos a tener gráficos, imágenes que son generativas también y son creadas a partir de los mismos datos cerebrales. Así que gracias, muchas gracias. Thank you, everyone. I will now give the space for Matt to introduce himself and say some words. Matt, the stage is all yours, Matt.
Cool. Thank you, Fito. Sadly, I will just be saying this in English, so I'll keep it fairly quick. But I just want to say thank you to Asher, thank you to Fito, thank you Hype and Hubs and Real Mix for making this happen. As they said, my own background is in experimental music, spatial sound, experimental composition, virtual reality. And for this particular collaboration, it's funny, this came about very quickly, where I found out about this kind of notion of procedural composition, the work Fito was doing. And initially, given the time frame, it's funny, I was very, very skeptical until we did a site visit and I saw this, and it felt very, very hand in glove to my own work, where I do a lot of procedural composition, a lot of data driving different sounds, dealing with sort of the materiality of sound, the different kind of process of creating sound and organizing it. So for tonight, what you'll be seeing, as Fito mentioned, is the data that's gone into the space itself, which will be manifested across multiple mediums. So you'll see it in the visual capacity, and then also I will be sonifying it in real time. In addition to some of my own compositions. The way I've been thinking of this is almost, if you imagine sort of the concerto, where there's the orchestra of the electronic sounds, the soloist of this brain data that I'll be manipulating in real time. Other than that, just a quick little procedural note. The sound in the space is spatial, just like you might expect in real life. So as you get closer to us, you might hear us louder. As you get further away, it might be quieter. So we'd encourage you all just, as you would as a real show, get as close as you like, make yourself at home, and thank you for coming out. We'll get started in just a moment.
Lo digo en español. Básicamente, cómo funciona esto es que el sonido es espacial. El sonido va a estar saliendo desde el avatar de Matt. Así que los invitamos a todos a que se acerquen a nosotros, que se acerquen para que puedan escuchar mejor el sonido. Y al mismo tiempo, si por alguna razón no lo escuchan muy bien o está muy bajito, los invitamos a que en las preferencias de su interfaz le suban un poco al sonido también. I invite you all to please come closer. In this way, you'll hear the sound way better. And if in any case you have some difficulties, you can try raising the volume in your preferences. You can find them right on the top left corner. There's a menu icon there. You can tweak your sound over there. Again, thank you very much, everyone, for coming. Asher, Matt, to Real Mix, Andrés García Larrota, Felipe Londoño, muchas gracias a todos. Thank you, everyone, for coming, and we hope you enjoy. And one more thing is that please keep in mind that this is highly experimental. Everything we're doing here is totally new. We don't even know if it has ever been done before. So it is also possible that it glitches for you. It is possible that it might just crash. We don't know. We are just trying it out. So thank you for coming and being part of this experience.
Cool. Thank you all.
Matt, whenever you're ready.
All right, let's do it.
Initial experiments have shown that one of the most fascinating aspects of current virtual reality technology is the inherent cognitive dissonance between the virtual experience and the remaining sensations of unaffected biological reality. Although virtual reality aims to supplant biological reality, the senses of touch, smell, balance, temperature, momentum, barometric pressure, humidity, etc., are all still available to the immersed individual. While the point of a virtual experience is often to be more fantastic than mundane reality, interacting with the residuals of biological reality remain the most intense and disorienting aspects of virtual reality. Walking into a table that isn't visible to the virtual self is both shocking and deeply uncanny. On a sensorial level, one becomes two bodies while engaged in virtual reality. If one is walking, one walks two walks while in virtual reality. That which is perceived within the VR headset and that which occurs within the actual space. There are also different walks experienced by the user, engulfed in exploring a fantastical environment, and any who may be watching him or her stumble about in a shabby room. These are but two examples, but each participates in foregrounding, fracturing of perspective and bodily experience. Virtual reality, however, is not the origin of the fracturing of bodily experience. Bodily experience itself, in order to be learned, must fracture itself from its own past, must treat its own knowledge as a universal present. One can think of this problem of the body and of the past in this way. The body learns in a way that does not differentiate between past and present. There is no that was then and this is now. Everything the body learns is wielded for the now. Its absorption and appropriation of all information that has somehow been inscribed at one point or another into it arises as a reenactment in the present time. And that reenactment does not, on any physical terms, need to acknowledge itself as such. You, for example, do not walk today as a reenactment of all the previous explorations of walking your body has undergone. You walk today as the walk, your walk. On a purely physical, body-based level, your walk refers to nothing beyond itself. It is, so far as the body needs to know, the only walk.
Thank you all. The perfect iPhone
Thank you very
ringtone
much.
to end the set.
Hey, how are ya? I know, yeah. That kind of sucks, doesn't it? I know, isn't that crazy? I know. I know. But you're doing well?
Hola, Juan.
You're kidding, really?
Hola, Juan. ¿Me escuchas? Juan Gutiérrez de Logística. ¿Me escuchas?
No, that's really great, honey. I love your little thing that you.
Yeah, Fito, I wish I could give you a high five right now.
Yeah, I wish the same, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That felt great.
yes, it did. It went smoother than expected.
Yeah. It's always, you know, it's the bad rehearsal, good performance rule holds true.
Right. I hope they all enjoyed.
Yeah, I think so. It's funny.
I think so.
Yeah, it's hard to read the audience with a bunch of blank-faced robots, but it's a tough crowd.
and the odd silence, right?
Yeah, right. We need some more liberal use of the applause emoji.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Got it.
Oh man, I turned around a few times during to see what you're doing. It looked so cool.
Thanks a lot, man. And the sound was great also. I mean, I didn't have. I mean, my image was lagging for a bit. I don't know how other people perceived it, so there might be some delay between how the data is being expressed by the sound and how it's being expressed by the image. But I think in general it was just great.
Yeah, gosh. Yeah, it felt very cohesive. It felt like a show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot, and in a moment I totally forgot we were like in a virtual space.
Guys,
Right. Yeah, it's starting to feel very natural these days.
Yeah. So I think we have a second group coming in, and I want to ask people from logistics if they can help us organize the second group.
True.
Let me very quickly try to talk to them.
Yeah.
Juan, ¿me escuchas, Juan? Hola,
Hey, Kurt and
¿alguien
Claudia.
de
I see
Neurona,
you two
de
have merged.
logística? Juan, ¿me escuchas? Juan Gutiérrez. Hola, Juan. Sí, mira, es que tenemos un segundo grupo que va a entrar ahora y algunos de ellos, que son algunos amigos, les dimos el link del espacio blanco, ¿sabes? Que es el que está aquí. Si tú giras a tu izquierda, ahí hay un portal para ir al espacio blanco. Entonces, yo no sé si hay alguien de logística allá, pero sería importante ir a mirar a ver si hay gente en ese espacio y luego invitarlos a que pasen a esta sala, por favor.
Ah, listo, listo. Entonces, si quieres ya aviso con logística para que vaya un muchacho y les avise que puedan pasar a esta sala, a la black, de la white a la black, ¿sí?
Exactamente. Muchas gracias.
Vale, con gusto, Fito.
Hey guys, ¿aló? ¿Quién hay aquí en el cuarto?
Yes.
Hey, Fito,
¿Dónde está Remy?
no sé, te estoy buscando.
Estamos
Estoy
en la
investigando,
pantalla.
creo que soy un numerito.
Ah, hola Felipe.
Vamos a ver dónde está Felipe.
Felipe está aquí
Eh,
justo
Vale, Fito,
frente a
ya,
la
ya tiene
pantalla.
logística para caer al segundo grupo.
Vale, muchas gracias. Asher,
Yeah. Hola.
Mattia, I think Mattia Casalegno
Yeah.
is in the lobby.
Oh, it's in the lobby?
Yeah, he should come in.
Yeah. Hold on.
Eh,
Oh, what? Why is he in the lobby?
Gracias por acompañarnos. Sigan atentos la agenda académica del festival en la página web www.realmix.gov.co.